Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to ZeerTalks Football, and welcome to a video in which I haven't done one of these in a bit, but it's time that we get back to doing them, especially now summer's coming up. And yeah, listen, we're here to chat about the big news. The big news that just popped out. I was about to do a similar one, but I didn't have time to do it. About obviously Xabi Alonso joining Chelsea, and I'll talk more on that with Sammy on Tactical Matches Pod later on this week, inshallah, if we do it with the show. So stay tuned in case we do it. But in this case, since it's non Premier League related, um, why not do a video? Jose Mourinho. Um, and Jose, he is joining Real Madrid. He's returning back to where he was more than a decade ago. Back in 2000, what was it, 2011, 12, and 13, if I am not mistaken. Those 3 years was when he was at Real Madrid, when they had the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Angel Di Maria, Mesut Ozil, Khedira, Pepe Ramos, of course. He brought in Rafael Varane and all these names. Obviously, Marcelo is another name. I don't know. Arbeloa, I believe, funny enough, was there. Casillas, how could I forget to mention him? And others. So Jose Mourinho, he was there before, and he's now returning back. So we'll chat more about. And I think things could get very interesting. Well, because if you think things are crazy now, imagine what it could be next season. But before we continue, you know exactly what to do. Subscribe to both. First of all, subscribe to this channel. Yeah, and press the alarm bells, future content notifications, like, comment, go check the socials. Go check ZeerTalks FCB and Wrestling. I probably collaborated with the FCB channel anyway. And like I always do, to be honest, because you guys need to check out this channel. Go check the socials. I actually might consider getting back to doing these socials over here. And hopefully you guys are good wherever you are. And yeah, I say we beginning. Actually, I say we continue. Yeah, listen. Jose Mourinho, guys. Now, for those who are living under a rock, this is a Fabrizio Romano post. And it says the following. Jose Mourinho, back to Real Madrid. Here we go. All terms have been verbally agreed between Jose Mourinho and Real Madrid. Waiting to sign all documents. Plan for initial 2-year deal. Jose Mourinho to travel to Madrid after the Real Bilbao game. Special one is back. Now, what I do want to check, because I do think Madrid Zone must be saying more on this, because that is their version of how Bayern have Amias and Mia. Looking for backup right back. Interesting. But yeah, I want to see if they've said anything more on Jose Mourinho. Because if they've said anything more on Jose Mourinho, like maybe the term and the conditions and all that stuff, it would be very, very helpful. But I think here Jose Mourinho has just arrived from Benfica's training ground to inform Benfica president Rui Costa that he's joining Real Madrid. Okay, so this was before the announcement was made. Now I want to see if there's any terms and conditions to Mourinho at Real Madrid. Let's see if there's anything said about this. Okay. I think this is it. Real Madrid have agreed, and this is from Cope, so I don't know how reliable this is. It's Spanish. I don't know how reliable this is. I mean, the fact that Madrid's zone is following, maybe there's something to it, but in case there isn't, let me know. Real Madrid have agreed to Jose Mourinho's request before joining the club, and they include as the following. He has the right to determine transfer targets and player positions. No interference from the board in team training. No pointless press conferences. He is allowed to bring his coaching staff. Okay, so now we look at this, and I'm trying to wonder, is Perez actually going to allow him to make certain decisions, or is he not? Now, usually, if I am not mistaken, they probably would on his terms, because remember, a lot of the times they got players in, they were on a free. When we're talking about Mbappe, even on a free. You talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free. Who else can we talk about? A lot of them has been on a free. They tried even with my club, Upamecano, on a free. Chouameni, I don't know how much they paid. Jude, I think they paid over like 100 million. So there are instances in which they will pay the money, but there are also instances in which they get players in for a free. So it's interesting to see what they do. I mean, Hoyson, they paid money for him, I think. I think they paid, if I'm not mistaken, 60 million. I could be wrong. Let me correct me in the comment section. But yeah, listen, for me, the way I view this is the following. I look at this as an opportunity for Real Madrid to find their way back. Now, why? Because I think Jose Mourinho is the type of guy that can get, like, put it this way, he's the type of guy to tell Mbappe to fuck off and sit on the bench. He's the type of guy to tell Vinny the same thing. Now, what makes this very interesting is, will they cause so much trouble in which now Florentino Perez will be siding with the players, or will he be siding with Jose Mourinho? Because here is the kicker. If Florentino Perez sides with Jose Mourinho, they're in the right path to being successful again. If he sides with the players, then they're back to square one. And this is what makes things very, very, very interesting. It's that simple. Either Florentino Perez grants Jose Mourinho the wishes he demands, which is what's mentioned here, or bust. So for me, I think we have to see how next season plays out. And from there, yeah, man, it'll tell us everything we need to know. It'll tell us everything we need to know, because we've seen with Xabi Alonso. Listen, I'm not the biggest Xabi Alonso fan when it comes to, like, greatest manager out there. I mean, if he was so much so, and people are dismissing Company, and Company beat them in a Champions League 5-0, I mean, you'd probably, keep the same energy, right? And give Company some sort of credit, but they don't do that. So we ain't doing that over here. But I do think Xabi Alonso is good. I think he'll do good at Chelsea, and there was only so much he can do. But even then, he has his flaws in selection sometimes. Even though he has a good system, his selections can be flawed. And maybe, who knows, maybe he learns from it at Chelsea. But as for Jose Mourinho, this guy, he means business. I know he may be a bit washed stylistically, and that's something people may call out Real Madrid on. But let's be honest, guys. Jose Mourinho is the type of manager that in a Champions League tie would benefit Real Madrid if he makes the right selections. Because stylistically, in a Champions League, I hate to say it, but we kind of saw against us before they got eliminated by us what they needed to do. All they had to do was contain an attacking side and catch on the break. Jose Mourinho can do the same thing. He can do the same thing. If Arbeloa can do it, Jose Mourinho can definitely do it. So for me, I look at it and I'm like, stylistically is not the issue for me. The issue for me would then be, who does he select? Who does he not select? If there's drama going on in the dressing room, can he handle it? Which I think he should be. But then again, will Florentino Perez let him do his job, or will he not? All these things we need answer for. So if we're talking what could happen on a football pitch if things goes right, in that aspect, that's not an issue. It's what happens within. It's what happens in the dressing room, in the offices. That's the determining factor of what happens to Real Madrid. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's my thoughts on man like Jose Mourinho joining Real Madrid. And yeah, guys, you know exactly what y'all can be doing. Let me know in the comment section. You know what I mean? Also, before I end this and tell you what to do, I'm curious to know who's going to leave between Valverde and Chouameni. Now, I had an argument or a discussion with the Bayern fans about Valverde, because I personally would take him. They wouldn't, but I actually think Valverde gets underappreciated for what he does, especially technically. So, yeah, listen, I'm intrigued to see what would happen with Valverde and Chouameni. I think Chouameni is the one that gets sacrificed, though, because I think Valverde is still captain by name. But then again, is Perez going to take the captaincy armband off him now? Again, we need to find out. Again, you know what to do. Subscribe, press the alarm bells for future content notifications. Like, comment your way. Go check the socials. And inshallah, you're good wherever you are, guys. You know what I mean? And go check all the socials, the other channels. I will collaborate with the Bayern one anyway. So, when that does happen, please subscribe to the Bayern one if you haven't done so. And if you're on the Bayern channel and you haven't subscribed here, please do so as well. Yeah, guys, take care. And until then, peace out.